Hello everybody, welcome to this video. I want to talk about manifestation to you guys, and I'm not an expert in this. This is just some of my thoughts and feelings around manifestation and the art of allowing. And yeah, I'm just somebody who reads a lot. I'm constantly reading. I'm obsessed with learning more things. I have this insatiable, probably like you, a lot of people watching videos on YouTube, we have this insatiable need to learn more because there's just such a vast ocean of everything possible, right? And so yeah, I've read lots of books about manifestation, about the neuroscience behind it, and it's a scientific thing now. There's a whole body of research and science explaining it, so it's not so much woo-woo and spiritual. It's actually like scientific now. I'm not sure I'll be able to articulate all of those thoughts clearly in a scientific way because I've just read so many different things, But I just want to talk to you guys about my own personal experience with manifestation and some of the most powerful things that I do that I feel actually work and that are accessible and easy to do. Maybe not easy. I guess sometimes things are a practice and you kind of make it a habit. So maybe at first it doesn't feel so easy, but it can become easy. And the main thing, and I know you're probably going to roll your eyes when you hear about this, a lot of people do, but the most powerful thing is gratitude. It's gratitude, it's gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And it's such a powerful thing because I don't know what it does. Even when I talk about it right now, I have goosebumps. It shifts your energy. It's like you're tuning your radio dial. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. When you're in gratitude, you are just, it's like you're allowing life force energy, you're allowing miracles, you're appreciating what you already have, and it puts you in this frequency of just allowing. Like you are so grateful, right? You practice gratitude. You're grateful for the air that you breathe. You're grateful for nature. You can be grateful for the food that you have, the family around you, the support system you have, your animals, your home, your car, the ability to walk, the ability to have a heartbeat, that you can get up and do whatever you want. You can read a book if you want. You can draw if you want. You can go make a meal if you want. You can go for a walk in nature. You can marvel at things, like there's just a vast ocean of every possibility. It's like when we practice gratitude, I think it does something to our energy where we put ourselves in a different vibration. Right? Nikola Tesla always talked about how if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of frequency, energy, and vibration. And so, our whole world is energy. We are energy. Yes, we're like a physical body, but we're made up of energy, right? We know this. And it's not always easy to articulate it and conceptualize it in our mind, but you know this. You feel it. You feel the vibes. You feel when you yourself are aligned and when you're not aligned, when you're in joy and in happiness and when you're in despair and sadness, and how you feel like if you're at your home frequency or not. And gratitude is the easiest, most accessible way to shift yourself into those higher frequencies of allowing and accepting and being open to miracles and amazing things happening in your world. And sometimes I feel like we might fall into the trap that we want some grandiose thing, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I want to have a best-selling book, or I want to have X amount of followers on social media, or I want to have X amount of dollars in my bank account. In order to get to any of these things that you think that you want, you got to have gratitude for where you are now and everything that's brought you to where you are now and all the amazing learning steps that you get to experience on the way to that. I think that we think we want these things, and it's a good thing to have desires because you dream, you want to go after, you aspire to it, and the journey is the fun, right? The journey to that destination is the fun part. And sometimes we can feel a sense of lack, right? When we envision those big goals and maybe it feels so far away, and maybe we can get a little discouraged because it's like, oh my God, like how's that even possible? Like I have maybe like if you are a social media person and you want to grow your account, like I see some people and I love them. They're so amazing. And they're just starting out and they have these feelings of like, oh my God, like how am I ever going to get to this X number of followers? But it's like they're going to get there, right? It's like every day they're showing up and every day they're going to that goal. And it's amazing because instead of thinking, oh, I don't have it yet, because when you look at stuff that you don't have, you're saying to the universe, I don't have it. Instead, switch into gratitude and just be grateful for where you are now and be grateful for everything that is you know, leading you to that thing that you want. And just when you're in that gratitude, that state of gratitude, all those things that you want are so much more easily available to you. They come to you easier. People are able to find you because you're just inspired in a certain way, and you share something in a certain way, and you articulate your thoughts in a certain way, or maybe you share something you're really inspired to create, and you're motivated, and you act on that spontaneous inspired action. And some of the most amazing genius ideas come from those places, right, where you're not even trying. You're just, oh, I want to create this, I'm just gonna do this watercolor, and bam, it sells like right away. And maybe you make prints and it makes you thousands of dollars, or you write some little book or something, and it's like selling like crazy, or you make a piece of content and it goes viral because you were barely even trying, right? And this is, you know, that's called the law of least effort. There's a whole bunch of laws in esoteric hermetic philosophy that talk about these things, and I highly suggest that you get the book. It's called the Kabbalion. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's like the principles of hermetic philosophy talk about this, the law of rhythm, the law of like polarity, all these things. And it's so helpful to know because it's like just so applicable to your daily life. And you know, I know I'm talking fast, but I'm just like so inspired to make this video and talk to you guys about this because it's just life-changing. The simple practice of gratitude is life-changing. It's where you can allow yourself to receive more abundance, more prosperity, more wellness, and it's fabulous. It's you know, some people call it the art of appreciation. It's like you may not be where you want to be or where you envision yourself that you could be. That's amazing. Have gratitude for the fact that you have these desires, that you want something, because the journey is so fun. It's so beautiful. You know, Abraham Hicks always talks about how you're never gonna get it done. You're never gonna get it done. And there's so much freedom and joy in realizing, you know what, there actually isn't a destination. I cannot get emotional like this because it's so freeing to know that yes, it's fun to reach your goals, but you're always gonna have more goals. You're always gonna have new desires. You're always gonna have new awarenesses, you know? As a creative person, I'm constantly so full of ideas. It's like I wish I had more time, because like I'm always working on so many things. Like I'm reading 3 books at a time, I'm making journal entries, and I'm making paintings, and I'm making videos, and I just like so much creative energy around me. I'm like at my whiteboard and I'm trying to make videos about this, and I'm talking about supplements, and I'm like all over the place, you know, all over the place. But as actually I'm so multi-passionate, and I allow myself to be because that's what feels good to me, you know? And I feel like listening to our own inner guidance is the hugest thing. That's right next to gratitude. It's like, don't look at what other people are doing and think that you need to do it that way. Be inspired. Be grateful that you're seeing examples of people who have figured it out, or who have, you know, figured out their secret formula or whatever, because that, you know, that's evidence that you are too. It's like we attract things in our life, and we see examples around us of what's possible. And when you shift into gratitude and appreciation, you're not comparing yourself to people. You're not thinking about what you lack either. You're just grateful to be alive. You're grateful to have an opportunity to create anything, to have a voice, to be alive, to be creative by nature. And that's the key. Like that's the magic. It's like you don't need, and suddenly you don't need the X amount of followers. You don't need the X amount of dollars in your bank account. You're already happy. You're already grateful. You're already receptive and full of life, you know? And that is a secret to manifestation. It's a beautiful thing to want things and to go after things and have a goal. Like I highly recommend it. Just don't let it trap you. Don't ever get in a mind frame of lack. And if you do, it's okay. Don't judge yourself. Just like, oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. You know, instead of identifying with the fear-based thought, just say, oh, that's interesting. What is that trying to show me? What is that revealing about me? You know, it's all information. It's all for your betterment. It's for your awareness, right? And because when you become aware, you can't become unaware. You can't go back to those old dimensions. You're expanded. You're bigger. You're like, oh, the light bulb has turned on, you know? And there's so many books that I could recommend if you do want to learn about manifestation. Abraham Hicks, Ask and It Is Given. I actually personally haven't read the book. I just started it, but I absorbed so many of her teachings. Like I know that would be a #1 book to read. There's this other two that I want to recommend that I've just started reading, and they're more in the vein of neuroscience. So one is called How to Actually Attract by Rick Lewis. There's another one called Shadow Laws of Manifestation by Tieran Cade. And the other one, this one, absolutely must have, is Mind Magic by a neuroscientist named James Doty, MD. So it's an actual medical doctor talking about manifestation, because as I said, it is no longer just a spiritual woo-woo thing. It's actually scientific. It's so powerful, it's so amazing, and for a lot of people who are scientifically minded, it gives them actual tools and knowledge to be able to be like, oh yeah, this is not just some fake idea that like spiritualists talk about. It's actually real, it's scientific. And some people really need that. They need that foundation, they need that logic, right? They need, you know, a doctor to explain it to them. So there's so many, you know, different avenues to explore. And you know, if you ever feel like you're getting into a negative mind space and you feel like your vision's becoming like a like tunnel vision, or maybe like you just feel like cut off from new ideas and stuff, like go back to gratitude, go back to appreciating, even if it's, you know, some people have a really hard time with that if they've never really done it before. And I would always recommend going in nature, appreciating nature. If you have a hard time having gratitude for abundance, look at nature, look at the abundance of grass, the abundance of trees, the abundance of birds and insects and everything just working perfectly, and gradually you'll start to see that in yourself too, and your eyes will open a little bit more and you'll be more in awe more often. So I always recommend that, you know, look at nature, look at the things that are just around us all the time, and kind of lets us out of the box we can find ourselves in when it comes to manifestation. And another thing too, so I just had this experience today, and that's probably like part of the reason I'm so emotional, because I was, you know, okay, so I've been in a great mood all day, right? And I feel like this is something I cultivate. Obviously every day you're not in a great mood, and that's okay. That's okay, you know. But I've been in a great mood all day, and I've just been at ease and gratitude and not forcing anything. And I had randomly had the thought, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something to this art. I made a moon phase, and I had this idea to do something I'd never done before, and I tried it, and I was able to get the glitter to stick on the background without it looking crazy. And so I did that technique. First thing, I've never done that before, and it worked. And so I listed the painting just randomly, and I was like, oh, this is amazing, you know. And I always have the attitude, like, if it sells, cool. If it doesn't, cool, because I love my art. Like, I want to look at it too. If it doesn't sell, cool, I get to look at it longer, you know. And that attitude of like not needing it, not forcing it, not like grasping at it, it's sold. And the craziest part about that is I've sold lots of paintings, okay? I'm so grateful. So grateful. I never take that for granted ever. But I was laying down, and I thought I was gonna take a nap, just like a little 20-minute, you know, thing. And I was laying there, and I put the blanket over me, and I was just like, closed my eyes, you know, and I was smiling, and I was so grateful, and I was like thinking about the painting, and I was like, you know, somebody's gonna find that, somebody's really gonna want this, like it's gonna go to the perfect home. And I can just almost envision the person looking at it on my website and putting it in their cart, and they're just so excited to get it, and I'm so excited that they're gonna get it. And I held that thought for, I'm sure, at least 20-25 seconds, and like right after I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep now, cha-ching, on my phone. And I love that so much, because yeah, it's not about the money. I feel so grateful that it sold, you know, but it's not about the money. It's about the fact that energy is real, that our attitude is huge, that manifestation is real, that our energy commands so much of things, you know. And often I think we think like, oh, it's not happening for me, and we keep beating the drum of like, oh, it's not happening, I don't have, I wish I had, which is you're constantly saying I don't have, right? And if you're constantly saying I don't have, I'm in lack, I don't have, then the universe is constantly saying yes, okay, whatever you're saying, yes. And so the trick is getting yourself into a state of gratitude where I have, I have everything I could ever want. Everything I could ever need comes to me. I am so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful for everything that's informing me of where I stand. I'm so grateful to be receptive to this energy, to this information. I'm so grateful I have a mind and a heart to feel, and all these tools around me to learn, and I'm so grateful. And bam, manifestation. Things happen, and it just adds to your cup to where you're just overflowing. You're overflowing with gratitude. You're overflowing with energy. You have so much life force energy, you feel like you could go run a marathon. You don't need anything to make you feel ecstatic, because you're just ecstatic to be alive. You practice gratitude to the point where you just cry that you're even alive, because it's like, how is this even real? You know? And it's so magic. It's so magical that we can change our brains in that way, that we can rewire our neural pathways, that we can create new neural frameworks and paradigms, like Bob Proctor talked about in paradigms. It's like the way we see the world, the way we think the world is, and some people might call you magical or delusional for the way that you think, but until magic starts happening in your life, your art starts selling, your books start selling, your content starts taking off, your job goes crazy, you got these new opportunities, new friends, new things happening that you couldn't even imagine, and like people, just stuff works out for you because you're in a state of gratitude, you're in a state of allowing, you're practicing the art of allowing. And just everything is always happening for you, and you have the attitude like, life is happening for me, you know? Life is always happening for me, and everything that comes my way, I'm gonna alchemize it. If I feel pain, if I feel sadness, if I feel despair, I'm gonna experience that as I'm meant to, and it's informing me, it's educating me, I'm gaining so much power, I'm gaining so much insight, and it's always happening for me. And when you have that attitude, you will see the universe will just keep saying, yes, life is happening for you. Yes, miracles are happening for you. Yes, abundance is always finding you. Yes, you always have everything you need. Yes, yes, yes. And so be careful of the mind talk that we say, and that even the thoughts that we think that nobody else hears. It's like, what are you saying to the universe? I am abundant. I am creative. I am magical. I am allowing. I am prosperous. I am well. I am happy. I am safe. I am healthy. All of these amazing things, and you'll feel it in your body. I have goosebumps right now again, because I talk to myself like this all the time, and my life is actually magical. I can't even believe how magical it is. And part of me does feel scared, you know, it does feel a little scary that it's so magical, because like, it's just like, you know, and that's another piece for me, is like the art of allowing. Like, yes, it can be this good. Yes, life can even be even better. Life can be even more amazing. You have no idea the levels of happiness that you have yet to experience, the levels of ecstatic experiencing you have yet to experience. And not even that, it's not even a need to have an ecstatic experience. It's a need, it's like you're just neutral, like you're at peace. You know, when you practice these things and you talk to yourself as a mother would talk to her child, you're speaking life and love into your spirit. It's like you get to a place where you don't need all these things that you thought you wanted. Like, you're so at peace just taking a walk in nature. That is a powerful place to be, when you are not really wanting for anything. I mean, it's nice. Yes, you welcome it. Abundance is amazing, but you're happy and content anyways. What a powerful place to be. What a powerful example to set for your children, for the people, your friends, your family, your spouse, your, you know, community. It's amazing. How we feel in here is, you know, is huge. It's like we really are magnetic. Our heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends far outside of our body, even more than our brain, right? Our heart is huge, and it's like when we can really tune into our heart through gratitude, through appreciation, through acceptance, through being neutral, through being non-reactive, through allowing people to be as they are, not needing to change them, just being you, allowing yourself to be who you really are, who you naturally are, realizing, you know, why worry about what people think, because none of that really matters, you know, like 100 years from now, people won't even know our name anymore, you know, and like, I know that might be a morbid thought, but it's also a freeing thought. It's like, all these little things that we think hold us back, of like, oh, I'm scared of what people will think about me. Don't let that get in the way of what you want to go after. Speak your mind, speak your truth, live your life, live how you want to live it. Go after what you want to do. If you want to make a painting, make a painting. If you want to write a song and start singing, do that. You know, this life is so magical if we just let it be, if we allow it to be. And I'm so grateful. I feel like I still have so much to learn. I'm gonna continue reading Mind Magic. I have it on my Kindle here, and that's the one by James Doty, The Neuroscience of Manifestation and How It Changes Everything. I'm gonna keep reading that so I can have a more scientific basis of understanding that I can maybe articulate and explain to people, because I know manifestation is real. I've lived it. I've experienced unbelievable levels of abundance through my own creations, through random ideas that I took action on, things that I didn't force. I didn't try to manipulate anybody, and I unlocked unbelievable levels of abundance and prosperity. And instead of, you know, sometimes we can think back to phases of our life where we were super successful or things were just working, and we can kind of like want for that or feel like we don't have that anymore. Don't do that, okay? This is something I've learned. It's like, be grateful for all these experiences you had. And if it's not happening the same exact way, don't beat yourself up. Don't get in a state of lack. Be grateful, like, man, I did that. Yes. And all these experiences accumulate into just more knowledge, more understanding, more everything, you know? So don't ever, you know, feel bad that you're not there where you want to be or where you used to be or whatever. No, it's all happening for you. It's all happening perfectly. It's more perfect than you could ever imagine, especially if you allow it to be, if you get into sync with your inner being and who you really are. And your authentic self is such a powerful expression of you. And when it's not clouded by fear or lack, you will just, your whole life will blossom. Your mind will be like a garden and just flourishing, and just like unbelievable levels of like lush amazingness, you know? So yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I can't believe I've been talking for 21 minutes, but I'm gonna share this. And if you guys have any thoughts that you want to share, any of your own experiences with manifestation, things that you've manifested, things that you've experienced, things that you think, like, I'd love to know. I'd love to hear them in the comments. And yeah, I'm so grateful. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.